Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's girlfriend gathering time. Where are my girlfriends at? I see my friends. I'm going to give... There. Okay. I was adjusting. I felt like I was a little angled, kind of crooked. Hello, everybody. Hi, all your little faces in the chat room. I'm so happy to see your faces. I feel like I'm seeing perhaps some newer faces that might not always join us for live. I see some new little names in here. Woohoo! Ray says, I'm on time today. Hi, Louise. Hi, Karen. Hi, Anna. Hi, Cozy. Hi, Shanna. Hi, Elise, Annabelle, Robin, Miss Angela. Hi, Anne. Hi, Annabelle. Hi, Andrea. Hello, Serenity, Kesia, Zakiah. Hello, Karen. Hi, Mathani. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Miss Faithful Planner Girl. Actually, I need to get my list because I'm just checking to make sure I have all the real names here. Hi, Miss Kathleen and Lynn and Miss Dawn and Michelle. I see Susan and Larry. And hi, EJ. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Kara. Hi, Teresa again. Hi, Shanrika. Hi. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Mandy. Okay, hi, Susan and Miss Mallory down under. It's 8 a.m. Saturday morning in a new state, a new place. Just checking. Okay. Aha, okay, Miss Muthani, I have your real name, not your super secret YouTube name. It's Yvonne. Okay, we're back in the saddle again. Hi, Miss Annette. Hi, Roxanne. Hi, Kat. And I have a KS Kiddos. Hi, Beth. Hi, Tamara. See, I had to stop myself right there. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Karen. Okay, and do we have new names? Hi, Miss Tanya and Shirley and Sherry and Isabella. Hello. Martha and Arlen. And are you guys... Hi, Danny. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Gail. Hi, Amanda. Okay. Woo! Hi, Jennifer. Okay. I wanted to make sure it would be so awesome if I could acknowledge each and every person every time. Hi, Stephanie. I was kind of wondering, hi, Miss Hannah. I was wondering where you guys were, because usually you can see people like that are waiting to join the chat room. And then a lot of times you guys like talk to each other while you're waiting. And this time it was like silence. And I was like, Mark, isn't that kind of weird that there's nobody talking in the group? So he made a point to kind of stir up the little chat room. Hey, you guys, are you there? You do, Jonna. You do need to get me that little mirror so we can have little childhood memories. Hola. Let's see. Your YouTube name is a little hard to say, so PC. So if you told me your real name, then I can say hola back to you. Hello, Tammy. Hello. Yes, it is actually a very beautiful day today. Again, another beautiful, not a cloud in the sky kind of day. Look, there's a Squirrel Cam, and it's pretty much the same as it is every day here in the back of my RV. Some of you guys are having cold, rainy weather. A lot of you guys are having sunny weather. Thank you, Miss Betsy. And it is, let's see, Betsy. Yes, Andrea, you are about an hour from me, aren't you? It has been a delightful spring, has it not, in this part of the state? I wish it would stay like this. If it was like this in this area, like all summer long, it would be glorious. But like right now is like perfect temperature. It's not too hot. It's a little breezy out here. But as soon as it starts ramping up and getting like atrocious, then I'm like, no, no, not today. I want to go home. I want to go back to Washington. Hope says it's crummy cold in Connecticut. And Tammy says it's snowy here. You guys, I would trade with you in a heartbeat. I would gladly give you sunny sunny Northern California for cold rainy, for cold snowy. I would trade with you in a heartbeat. Nicole says it's rainy and cold in Dallas. You know, one time, Nicole, when we were in Dallas, it actually snowed. I did not realize that it ever could snow in Texas, and it snowed. It snowed on our way to church, and that was really awkward because I didn't have, you know, like when you go to church and Dr. Evans's church is the kind of church that you dress up for. People look fly when they go to church there. And so so that was already a challenge, finding clothes like that I could wear that were like more nicer. And then it snowed, and that adds a whole other wrinkle because I didn't have the kind of like, you know, the kind of cold weather gear you'd wear to a nice church. So yeah, so that will always stand out in my memory that it actually snowed in Dallas. So rainy and cold. Miss Michelle says it's rainy and cold in Boise. Mallory says it's raining in Australia, where she is, in Canberra. When I see that, I always want to say Canberra, and which is not correct, but I always want to. Carrie says it's hot in southern Louisiana. And then Robin says it was 70 degrees in Kansas yesterday, and then sleet and snow overnight and 30 degrees today. Isn't that crazy? I guess that makes sense, though. I would expect the states that have all of the like tornadoes and stuff, I would imagine you guys have very crazy weather. So I haven't gotten to experience a little taste of it, how you have really sharp temperature drops, really crazy. Because growing up on the West Coast, I think the temperature is just more moderate on this part of the country. So I feel like it's not crazy up and down, up and down. It's more temperate, moderate. Up in Washington, it's got a little bit more, you know, you can plan on things. But spring seems crazy across the country. It's all over the place. Hi, Miss Patty. She said that she just had hail in northern Washington. So jealous. So my friends, we're having some crazy weather all over the place. Everyone's sharing their weather. Hi, Linzel. She says it's raining in Johannesburg, South Africa. I just think that's so cool that we get to have. Hi, Marina, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I have been to your land, and I have a sweatshirt to prove it. I just think it's very cool that what a cool blessing that is to get to have so many people from around the country come join us on our show and be part of our community. That's just so neat. It was one of my favorite features of you know, this particular community, and just in the way that social media allows that other people can join in from other areas. And of course that means you guys often have to deal with rather extreme time differences, but I appreciate that you make the effort to do so, because hi Miss Ruth in Brisbane. It's always such a pleasure to have you guys join us. And Miss Claire says it's her birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. I think everybody's kind of having different types of birthdays this season than they're, you know, would normally do. Maybe some of us introverts have the same kind of birthday every year, but some of our extrovert friends, it might be a little bit more painful to not enjoy their birthday the way they normally do. I know my daughter is very bummed. Her birthday is a week from today, and she's very bummed that A, she can't come down here to have her birthday with her family. B, she can't go out with her friends to enjoy it. Miss very extrovert. So this will be very new to her, and I do feel bad because she'll be all by herself. Hopefully, and not going out. I hope. So I have been on Amazon sending her things, and I packed up a box of goodies to send to her, so she'll have some fun things to open on her birthday. But so I'm sorry for all the birthday peeps that might have had exciting plans, and or not just birthday, but like there's been other exciting plans people have had, like trips and vacations and weddings and all that kind of stuff, and that will have to be changed. So my daughter is going to be 29. So she's going to be 29, and then a month later I'm going to turn 49. Yipes. So both of us are having the last of our decade birthdays. Next year I was talking to Miss Paula G, and I said I would love to have a really cool birthday for, like, I've never had a birthday party like that, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have like some epic fun birthday party where I could invite my Reset community if they want to come, and have like a jammy party and crafting and just like be teenagers again. So we shall see what happens on the other side of our COVID experience and what that brings. But Jennifer said her birthday was on Wednesday. Happy birthday, Jennifer. I hope you have a fabulous year ahead of you. Yeah, some of you guys are talking about, hi, Miss Caroline. Your anniversary was yesterday, and we picked up tacos to go from a local place. And next week is my birthday, so we'll be figuring out a place to support for dinner that night too. Well, happy birthday in advance. Sorry, I'm getting caught up in the, the chat room. I'm like, yes, tell me more. So yeah, some of you guys had some plans, like crafting and doing events. If like some of you might, I'm trying to think, is Jennifer Allwood? Jennifer Allwood's a big, she has a big audience, and she had this big event planned. She's a Christian entrepreneur type of brand that supports other entrepreneurs, and she had this huge event planned, and that had to be rescheduled. So it's yet another wrinkle that we are all experiencing of getting to reschedule, rethink our lives. So hi, Miss Kimberly Jones. Yes, Kimberly, you could teach me a dance routine, because every time I see people, like, okay, as an example, on the cruise, everybody, when they get on a cruise, there is often music. I've been on a Carnival and a Royal Caribbean where they both did the same thing. It's part of like your getting on the ship, and everyone's getting excited, and they'll have like music, and everybody in the little dance area, they start doing different dance routines, like the slide and all that. And I know none of that. I have no moves. So I've often thought, it would be really nice to at some point in my life to learn the basic like little dances that people do. I mean, people my parents' age were dancing out there, and they all knew the little moves. And I thought, I could handle that. Just learning how to do like that little step to the side, and then turn, and that kind of thing. How many of you guys, even my introvert friends, how many of you guys would just like, one of these days, I'm just gonna get out there and learn a little dance routine? I admire people who can do stuff like that, and I just want to. When we had our really awesome, epic dance party, and Miss Andrea, you were there. Miss Cozy was there. It was so much fun dancing. We had the whole disco to ourselves, and it was just us girls, all of us, which is a lot. It was like, I'm going to ballpark it and say there was about 90 of us girls, and we were all in our jammies. We had our own little bartender. We had a signature cocktail, and it was so much fun. We played all 80s music, and we danced like we were teenagers again. And it was, I want to say, it was probably the most like epically fun night of my entire existence. And yeah, I would love to experience that again. That was so much fun. And all my little introvert friends that were like, no, I don't really want to dance, they all brought their craft supplies. We made everybody feel like very comfortable to sit in the little tables and craft away and just be able to enjoy and watch. What we introverts like doing is watching other people have a good time. That's our good time. So it was a lot of fun. So what are we going to talk about today, my friends? Kathy, I'm so sorry. She says her son's college graduation was canceled. That's the kind of stuff that's like, I know that is like super, super painful. Yes, Kimberly, you were there. Girl, you were there. And girl, also, to that point, I saw you dancing by yourself. That's right. Me and Mark were talking about that not too long ago, and how just like, I admire that. She was all by herself. She was dancing to some live music, and she was just in her little space. That's right, Miss Kimberly. I remember that now. But yes, I need some dance lessons. I want a little piece of your boldness, because I just thought, when you're just in the moment having a good time and you're just like, I don't care about anyone thinks or how I look, that to me is just like epic freedom. That's just, isn't that wonderful? Sorry, I'm getting a notification that I have to respond to. I apologize. This happened the other day on our live. I just want to make sure I'm making sure. Okay. We talked about Instacart the other day, and I was having to respond to a shopper. Well, I have another order in today because, as we talked about on our last live, Instacart might be going on, strike. And that means that they might not be taking orders. We read online that they were not going to be taking orders after a certain day. Do you remember what day that was, Mark? Was Friday? Was today it?
Supposedly it was this past Monday.
So it was past. Okay. So maybe it's past us.
So.
It's kind of unclear sometimes, isn't it? Isn't it unclear about how, like information you read online, you're like, okay, well, what date was this? Did this already happen, or is it going to happen? So I just wanted, like, better safe than sorry. There was talk of a strike, and some of you guys mentioned that you were have already experienced that where your area is. So I just wanted to make sure, it's the one planner girl part of me that's like, just plan to make sure you have everything, just all your little things. Don't be Mother Hubbard. Make sure your cupboard is full. So anyway, I know, right? Hang on a second. I want to make sure, because I know I have your name in my book, and I want to make sure that I say it. Leslie says, don't take Instacart from me. Instacart has been the saving grace right now. For reals. I need to take these off. These glasses, I made such a huge mistake with these glasses. I had the, transitions put on them so they get gray when you go out in the sun, which there's sun coming in here, so they're turning gray, which I can see in the film, which is annoying. I regret that decision very much. I wish I had not done that. They're not cute when they turn gray. They look, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't like the way they look when they get that sun thing, the sunscreen thing happening. So I'm going to stick on my other glasses. Which, let me see. Can I see? Yes. Should I post the dance party? Girls want to have fun. Can you post that on the live?
We can't watch it because of the song, but I can post the link.
Okay, so Mr. Crafty said that he could post a little clip from our dance party, and he said he could post it in the group if you want to watch it. It's just like a few minutes long, and you can just see, like, scan the room and see everybody dancing on the dance floor. Kimberly, for the rest of my life, Girls Just Want to Have Fun will always be the epic song that we dance to, and I just think that was, like, you gave me such a fabulous memory. I'll always appreciate that. But that's the song in the clip that Mr. Crafty is putting the link to. So, yay, Tara! Thank you so much for buying a T-shirt. She said she got the "It's a Beautiful Day for a Reset" T-shirt. Awesome. Annabelle says, I heard it's going to happen again about Instacart. Someone in my area was trying to order and they wouldn't take hers. See, that was my fear, is that I wouldn't be able to place an order at all. So I tried it. So the strike was Monday, Vanessa says. So if you're able to use Instacart in your area, some are, some aren't. But if you are, it's fabulous. You pay, so you can use their 2-week free trial, so you don't get, I think there's something that they waive when you do the 2-week free trial. So you can try it out and see if you like it. I just opted in because I knew I would order enough to make it worth, it's like $9.95 a month. And for that, somebody goes and does all your shopping for you. You do your shopping on an app. And if the item that you've chosen is low in stock, the app will ask you, hey, do you want to, would you rather have this if that's not available? So then the shopper will arrive at the store. The app will tell you who is your shopper, so you can even chat with them live and say, hi, Janie, hi, Kimberly. And then they start shopping for you. And if they have questions, they can talk to you through the app. You can see what's happening as they're putting stuff in their cart. They generally update it as each item is taken off your list. If it's not available at all and there's no good thing to replace it with, they'll just refund your money instantaneously. It's awesome. And then they will drive it over to your house. Right now, because of COVID, they just basically leave it on your porch or at your front door. And so you're not ever really even seeing the person. And then you get to, just like Uber or Grubhub or any of those, you can leave them, you can tip them. It usually defaults, the tip is automatically built in there, so it will default to 5%, and then you can choose to incrementally increase it. And there is a small little service fee that they tack on, and then the groceries themselves are a little bit more than you'd pay in the store. I have noticed that. I don't mind, because to me it's an extraordinary service. It's protecting you from having to go out if that's not possible really for us. I mean, whatever we can do to avoid being out is what I am prepared to do. So are you doing that, or does it do that automatically?
No, I did it.
Okay. A car drove by and all of a sudden Mr. Crafty puts it up on the screen apparently, so we can all go, car activity. Something's happening in this quiet little street I'm on. Okay. I was thinking for a second. Hi, Esther. I haven't seen your little face in a while. I'm glad to see you. EJ says, I went to a local grocery store today and they were packed in there like sardines. Yipes. Yes. Justine says, tip your shopper a lot for being brave. Absolutely. Tammy asked, did you guys ever see the Girls Just Want to Have Fun movie? Yes, a cajillion times. When that movie came out, I saw it a lot. It was on repeat a lot. I loved that movie so much. There's somebody walking. Mark, there's movement.
Oh.
There's a pedestrian.
I'm slacking. No.
There we go. Look. Movement. There's actually a fair amount of people who go for walks in our neighborhood now. My mother said she wanted to go for a walk again, and I said, that's fine, but promise me that if you go for a walk, if somebody approaches you on the sidewalk, like they're on the sidewalk too, that you'll cross the street. That you won't go near them. Promise. So my mom and I are going to start packing stickers tonight. We're gathering up all the Reset Your Goals kits, the stickers we had from our inventory, and we're going to start packing them and getting them ready, because we are going to release them in the month of April. So that's what we will be doing tonight when we watch our evening programming, is we'll be packing stickers. We actually really enjoy doing that. My mom is really good at packing the little kits and stuff, so we're going to do that together. That's right, other humans. They're out there. And a lot of them are walking little dogs and stuff. So I get to see there's a lot of little dogs in this neighborhood, which is nice to see. So I did want to mention something to you guys. As you can see, I'm just kind of meandering around our live today. I wanted to remind you guys, I mentioned this in the last live. I'm going to bring it up each live for a couple lives just to let you know, is our texting reminding program is going to go away. It's a fairly large expense, and with our new normal, we have to cut expenses everywhere in our business. So we're going to be we're going to remove the texting reminders from our budget. And I'm so sorry that I have to do that because I know a lot of you enjoy it. I think it's awesome, and I am benefited from it myself. Even though I'm the one doing the live. I'm like, oh good, it's an hour from now. Like, I will forget. It's very easy, right? It's easy for us to get consumed in a task. Or other things you have going on in your head. So it's easy to forget. And it's a nice human countdown to what's going on. And move it along, buddy. Keep going. So anyway, I'm sorry that we have to do that for now. And I'm not saying that we will forever never have it again. But for now, we do have to minimize all of our expenses a lot. That's funny. Okay, and then if this is your first live, if you are joining us for the first time, please let us know in the chat room so me and the girls can just give you a big old hug and welcome you aboard, because we love our lives. And yes, they vary from time to time. Sometimes we are far more on task with the craft project or something, and other times we're just sort of meandering around in our conversations. But mostly it's my opportunity to get the chat room open, to be able for you guys to connect with each other, to like check in with you guys. How are you guys doing? Giving you something, you know, just to have another option in your plethora of entertainment options. So yay. So Faithful Planner Girl says that YouTube gave her a reminder. So that is an alternative if you have your reminders set on your phone for YouTube. Like your notifications turned on. YouTube has this cool feature now where we can, when we set up our live schedules on YouTube, it will allow you to click on the graphic and set a reminder. So it will tell you, hey, they're about to go live. So that's an alternative, because for the most part, our lives are on YouTube. The only time that changes is when we offer a camp, a retreat, the upcoming membership, in which case lives will move, those type of lives will move to a private Facebook group, and then they'll be different. But no matter what happens, I will continue having some lives on my YouTube channel, no matter what. You know, it would be so funny is if I had like a little speaker outside of my, outside of the RV, and we could talk to them as they walk by. Except I'm not the kind of person that's like good at harassing people or being funny like that. So I probably wouldn't have anything funny to say. But let's just pretend for a second we were those type of girls. Well, Karen, I'm so glad you returned to us. She says that she's back after about a year. So I'm glad you're back. And yes, the other alternative, EJ, is putting the reminders in your planner. And I would also say that taking it one step further, if you're someone who easily gets distracted or is not very disciplined at looking in your planner, then one thing you could do is set your, like a reminder on your phone or your Alexa. Okay. So Miss, okay, I just missed. Good morning, Kathy, from South Australia. How fun. Yay, Tammy. There you are. I see people saying hi to you, so I just want to double check that I got you. So welcome, Tammy. I'm so glad that you're here. And welcome. Meet my friends here in the chat room. We love this community. Super supportive, lovely, positive, encouraging ladies. And if you can tolerate me and my meandering chat, then you have found a fun home that is both, it can be, depending on the day, it could be a show that's based around increasing your faith. It could be a show that's about inspiring your crafting, your creativity, or it could be like a girlfriend gathering, which you're watching right now, which is just kind of like a fun thing I started during this phase of our quarantine and just kind of just show up and whatever happens, happens. We had a couple movie days last month. We had a movie night and we had a movie matinee. And I was actually thinking of doing that for the faith group. We've never done that before, but maybe for one of our faithful friends shows we could do a movie day. They actually have a movie on YouTube for free. It's one of my very, 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 very favorite faith movies that I thought could be fun for us to watch together. So I'm considering that and setting that up. So I will let you guys know which one we're going to do that with. So, but I think YouTube is pretty much the easiest platform to watch a movie. It's like very instantaneous to grab it. I believe it's like a movie you'd pay for on all the other platforms, to my knowledge, or you might own this movie. So Melanie from New Zealand, how awesome. Well, welcome back. I'm so glad that those of you who were able to join us before, you were in a different season of your life, you had to take a step back, you are reconnecting with us today. Girls, that's so wonderful. So Melanie is another lady who's done that. And then what is New Iberia? What is that, Miss Jackie? Is that a town that you live in? That sounds so cool. It's like a cool name. So, and Miss Karen is coming back to us. So Karen and Melanie. So welcome. Awesome, Megan. She's crocheting while she's watching. There are 2 projects we have going in the Crafty Club and the First Love Club. Just kind of helping you if you wanted to contribute, help out in this season. There is the encouragement to do masks, to sew the little masks for our healthcare workers. There are some fabulous YouTube tutorials that we've seen. My mom is going to start making masks herself, just because they really are, they're at that level where they need whatever they can get their hands on to cover people. I just find this so shocking. But yesterday, I don't know if you guys all watched the press conference. There's been some movement, there's been some motion now. So the federal government now has gotten their hands on, or helped, I should say they helped, what would you call that? They help coordinate making sure a bunch of masks are making it in, and then beginning the process to make sure the masks aren't black marketed, and that they are hopefully getting into the American marketplace where they can be distributed or purchased through hospitals. It's very interesting, isn't it? All the layers of how things work, especially in the face of something like this, and all of a sudden you're seeing things that you never knew was happening before, or you suspected was happening before, but you weren't quite sure. And then so they have confirmed that yes, there have been a lot of black market deals been going on, where the highest bidder that perhaps isn't here in America but elsewhere in the country is actually getting their hands on what little masks there are. So it's been very interesting watching this day to day. So we do have some ladies still making masks, which is wonderful. And the great thing about that is that it can go to your local hospital. You can do it at a local level. You can ship it off if you wish. I mean, there are some hospitals, some areas that are just so heavy hit, like urban areas like New York City. What was the other city? Chicago is crying uncle. There's a lot of them. So Cindy just wants to remind people, when you are making masks, that 100% cotton is what they're asking for. I created a newsletter. It's the community bulletin number 2, and it provided links and resources. Lady walking dog, lady walking huge dog, lady walking huge dog at 12 o'clock. That is an enormous dog. Sometimes there's younger moms that will walk their dog, and they'll have this there's several enormous dogs in this neighborhood, and they'll have their stroller with a baby in it and a couple toddlers and this ginormous dog. Wow, that is bravery. I don't think I could handle that. That would be too much anxiety, trying to control all those little beings, the furry one, the little one. Yes, huge dog alert. Oh, you guys, look, he's on a loop. It's the same kid. He's back again. Is that suspicious? Probably not. And then there's the lady with her dog coming back that way. I'm pretty sure, like, I feel like I'm revealing way too much about myself right now. It was a lot more, it's not that I liked living next door to the previous neighbors, but it was very, I can't say that every day it had something going on in it. There was either some huge fight or argument going on. There was some kind of drama happening. There was people cruising by. There was a lot of stuff happening. So it was both, I don't know, it was more distracting, I think, than anything, but it's very different now that that particular household has moved out. Now the neighborhood has come back to a very, very quiet and peaceful place. And so now I find myself just distracted by the tiny movements of life, like when the neighbor comes home and parks the car, and or that couple over there comes home. So I'm sure if you guys were sitting in your window, you'd find yourself doing the exact same thing, as you would just be like, oh, what's that? Oh, you guys, that's one of the neighbors. That's one of the neighbors that live next door. His parent lives a little around the corner, and so I think he's staying there now. And so he was one of he was one of the forms of distraction activity going on. Well, hello, Maria. She says that I'm new here. I've been watching for a while and I love this place. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here, that you feel this way. Welcome, welcome. Yes, EJ, power walking. He walks with a purpose. He walks like he's marching. So I have a recommendation, you guys. There is this book. I love this author to bits, and actually a couple of, let me think here. One of her books was turned into a movie, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen. It is fabulous. It is Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. Her name is Fannie Flagg. And the book in question that I am highly recommending is called Daisy Faye and the Miracle Man. So, Mr. Crafty, if you want to post the link to it, this is one of my favorite books of all time. She actually has two of them that I absolutely love. Standing in the Rainbow is the other one. If I were on going to a deserted island and I could only have, like, let's say 5 books, I would probably pick this one, and Standing in the Rainbow would get 2 of the slots. I am not a big fiction reader. I'll be honest with you. I really love nonfiction. If I'm going to read, I like improving myself and learning stuff. So I tend to be more of a nonfiction reader. Always trying to improve who I am. And maybe I'll get there one day. But this is such a fabulous book. She is such a great writer. I love her. If you loved Fried Green Tomatoes, she just has this I can't even explain it. Her characters just make you wish that you lived in their neighborhood, that you lived next door to them. They just are, it's, Standing in the Rainbow, I wish I could live in that neighborhood. It's one of those books that spans an era of time, and there's no particular person that's like the main character. It's kind of like a mash of many characters. She's a very funny writer. Like if you loved Fried Green Tomatoes, you all those great lines about what's that one is when the girl, I don't know if that actually, before I say that, I'm not sure, I can't remember now if that actually was in the book. It could have been in the script. What did she say when they almost collided in the grocery store parking lot and she was having her moment of retribution, and she said, well, I'm older and I have more insurance. Let's see. I know Nicole Wright, she said, I feel like we should be making dialogue for everyone who walks by. Right? Faithful Planner Girl points out something very important. I wonder what your neighbors think of you. I agree. I have thought that a million times, because for a long time, Mark and I were coming home every single day with like takeout food. And that always crossed my mind. I was always like trying to think like, should I try and smuggle it in so they won't be judging me for eating takeout every day? That's one thing I will say that my neighbors probably thought of me as like, dang, they eat a lot of takeout. So anyway, there you go, Andrea. Tawanda. So Fannie Flagg is fabulous. Cindy says, love Fannie Flagg, great book. So she has written many books. My two favorite, the other ones on my Kindle, is Standing in the Rainbow and Daisy Faye and the Miracle Man. This one is written in one of my very, very favorite formats for fiction, which is a diary. I just love diary books. And it's written from the perspective, it starts in 1952, and it's written from when she starts out, she's 11 years old. And then you see her as she gets older, and she talks about all the hijinks that her dad, like, it's funny when kids tell stories from their perspective. If you remember Tree Grows in Brooklyn, how Francie also had a diary at one point in the book, and you could see how she wrote from her perspective of things, and then you found out it's because she had to edit it because her mom found her diary. It's like that kind of thing where her storytelling is one from an 11-year-old perspective, and then as she starts getting older, you start seeing her get wiser and wiser about what's really going on around her. But this is an awesome book. So we have some downtime, so I thought I would recommend one of my very favorite books of all time with you guys. Yeah, because pretty much all my other books are all nonfiction. So that's why I'm constantly giving you guys nonfiction recommendations, because that's what I primarily read and like. But this one, I found it on I've been trying to get my mom to read this book for 10 years, at least. 10 years. I have begged her and pleaded with her to read it. And I don't know why she resists me. I even tried to like drill down on that. Like, why are you not reading it? Give me your reasons why. Because she would identify with this character. This character loves going to the movies. She's always talking about the different movies that she sees in the movie theater. And my mom was similar to this age. And so I can't fathom why she just won't read it. Is it because I'm recommending it to you? I don't know. So I've tried to understand what it is. But I figured perhaps maybe I'll try to get you guys hooked. So you guys, my Instagram shopper is shopping for me. My Instagram, I can't believe I just said Instagram. My Instacart shopper currently being shopped. So let me see here. 23 of 43. Oh, I have a boy shopping for me. Usually my boy shoppers have not been my favorite. Mark, he found your okay, quick, you guys. Is a Anaheim pepper the same thing as a poblano? I need to know. Because I don't want to bite into it and be like, ah! Because poblanos are very mild. Okay, so this is what's happening. So basically I'm going through all of the items that I put in my cart, and he's making suggested replacements, so that it just goes, hey, do you want to approve this replacement that your shopper is approving? So approve, and then adjustment. So still shopping for.
You're getting a bunch of no's.
Okay. Okay.
No.
No. But can we agree that... But Larry says the Anaheims are mild too. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for, is that at least they're mild. It's not like I'm picked a poblano and then now I'm putting in a habanero, for instance. Like that's no bueno. Yeah, right? Boy shoppers are not as good as the girl shoppers. Here's case in point.
We don't have as much experience.
Byron didn't even say hi to me. Usually the girls are like, hi, I'm Jennifer. I'll be your shopper. Let me know if there's anything you need, anything I can answer for you. Byron's just like, I'm getting to work. No chit chat here. Byron's like, no, not today. So we'll see what happens. My last boy, he wasn't chatty either. In fact, even when I was asking him questions, he was definitely he's okay. I'm not going to use the M word, but he was definitely a kid who used a lot of like instead of saying like what WHAT, it was WAT. I'm like, are you that are you that lazy and you can't type an extra letter and you're my shopper? What chances will I have that you're actually going to go out of your way to go look for something for me? So yes, this is what it is, ladies. You just have to rely on the kindness of strangers and that they want a good tip. So the girls have been awesome, and they're very, talkative and will ask questions and stuff, Mr. Crafty, I said M word for millennial. I just don't like to say that as if there's like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to like put them all grouped together. Please hear me, those of you who are millennials. I feel like that happens a lot. I feel like we kind of group people together, but he's just like he was a younger kid, and you could tell he was like text typing instead of like proper grammar and proper writing. So yeah, are we going to have that now? Like the B word is now boomer. Is Gen X, do we have things about us now that you have to be careful about what you say about us? I think I have that feeling because my daughter's super sensitive about it, like acting like as if we're saying something mean about all people born in that age group. And I'm not. I'm just saying that there's certain little things that shape people to why they are. And because you guys grew up with all of this technology, I just noticed you tend to be more texty talking emojis and stuff like what we would do. Right? Serenity goes, that kid was probably a bad boy. Uh-oh. He refunded me on my bread, which means that they didn't have my bread at all. Or any bread, because I gave him a suggested bread I would take. So, sorry, Mr. Crafty, you're out of luck, sir. No bread. No bread for you. But let me see, maybe I'll find another bread. I just won't be able to have any. Here, he just did it, so. Okay. He made a good replacement with the Skippy Natural. He did a good, so you guys are shopping with me, apparently. So sorry. Yeah, Celia, she says Gen Xers are just skipped over. I just haven't seen, I see that baby boomers get criticized a lot, and I see millennials too, but I feel like I haven't really seen anything about us, good or bad. Just we're kind of being left out of the thing. So I just want to be careful and not disparaging some of my millennial friends here as if you guys are all the same, because I'm not saying that at all. Miss Melanie, the book I was talking about was this one, Daisy Faye and the Miracle Man. I think I'm probably going to start reading it. It's one of those books that I've read. I'm going to say I've probably read this book about 6 times. I have certain books that kind of like just come, you guys probably do too, like you just have a book that every now and then it'll come back into your memory, or you'll be reminded of it, or you'll see it on the shelf and you go, you know what, I'm in the mood to read it. That's how I feel about A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. There's just a few books where I'll just read them again and again. And each time I read is like I get something different out of it, or pay attention to something different here. Okay. We're talking about sourdough starter here in the chat room. It's funny you guys mentioned that, because I actually was going to put a link to a video on sourdough starter, because in some cases, some of us are going to have to start making our own bread. That's what it's coming down to. Some of the little niceties that are more of our staples in the grocery store, we have to start making ourselves. Bread's kind of hard to find. I haven't been able to find certain things at all, so I'm going to approve, I guess I'm approving the Anaheim pepper. We'll do what Tim Gunn says. We'll make it work. Adjustment. Okay. Okay. Looks like he's still shopping. I had a pretty big cart today. Andrea says, because we are the perfect generation. We can do no wrong. Miss Ray asks, are we going to do any crafting already? Come on, girls. Yes, faithful punter girl, we got peanut butter in our cart. So, yes, please craft. If that is what you wish to do on here, please craft. I don't always craft on the show. That's kind of why I segued it into girlfriend gathering, so that it took that pressure off me to have to craft. Because sometimes, as you know, don't always feel super crafty. But I encourage you, though, to use this time for your own crafting, to make sure that when this girlfriend gathering or the faithful friends shows up on your calendar, that's like, oh, that's my time to do some craft time, some me time, and you can join up here in the chat room and do that. I actually wanted to talk to you guys about that, and because I really kind of was waffling back and forth on, am I ready to do some crafting or not? I was kind of thinking. Teresa says flour and rice are our short supply. Agreed. I haven't seen flour at all on any grocery store list. Not Costco, not none of them have had it in stock. Not Safeway, not Target. Nobody. I haven't seen flour in a long time. Justine says, we did it. We made our first bread. Chloe said, teens in Oakland are baking and posting on Instagram. How fun. I think that's going to be so great to see some of the younger girls that haven't done those things. You know, I don't even know if home ec is encouraged or taught anymore. That's something I did in high school. I'm sure a lot of us did. You know, which is where you learn how to bake a loaf of bread and sew something and plan a meal. So I actually did take that. But this might be the first time like they actually have a reason to do these things, because we kind of have to. So yeah, if you have flour stored up, this is a great time to make bread. So I have been doing the gratitude challenge, which we are now on, let's see, it's April 3rd. So we are on day 3 of the gratitude challenge, which I posted in the First Love Club. But it doesn't matter. If you're just in the reset community, you can do it wherever you wish. You don't have to be in one club or the other. So basically the premise is listing 3 things you're grateful for every single day. So if you didn't see that post, if you are in the Crafty Club and not in the other, please know that the month of April is our month of gratitude. And the reason for that is that right now, this is a perfect time to be focused on all the positive little things in your life that you can focus on. Focusing on happy, positive blessings, things that you feel like no matter how bad it is in your life, there is always something to be grateful for. Every day when I check in on the news at night and I see all the tragedy that happened that day, all the people who lost their life, all the different struggles that people in the healthcare force are going through, I feel, first of all, I feel enormously blessed, and kind of like I got off the hook that all I'm being asked to do is just stay home. You can do your part, people, the rest of you Americans. I'm not an essential worker. I'm not having to deliver packages or do that, do some of the... That's another one of the neighbors. She's just minding her own business, walking by. A lot of walkers in this neighborhood, huh? So anyway, I feel like I have to whisper, even though she can't hear me. But anyway, I lost my train of thought because squirrel, which is why we call it the Squirrel Cam. It is doing its job. Squirrel. It gives us a chance to focus on all of our blessings, not having to go out, not having to do that. Look, there's our awesome postman. I love it. He wears the classic little pith helmet that I remember being a little kid in the 70s and remember that the mailmen all wore the pith helmet, and that's what he has on. I love it. He is so nice. He is like one of the nicest mailmen I've ever seen. He always, he's very friendly and he's talkative, and he always tells my mom how pretty her yard is because he's just, I don't know, he's very friendly. I don't know, I like people that are nice to nice to older people. Anyway, and I appreciate that he's still doing his job, getting the mail out to everyone so that they can get their essentials. The people who work in the pharmacy, the first responders, all of them. I mean, how blessed am I? So like, to me, if I can't think of anything, that should be the first thing I'm thinking of every single day, is I'm so blessed for that alone. So that's just an example. So many of us are not essential people, and that can be, do I worry about our finances? Yes, I do. But do I let that worry consume me? No, I do not. Because ultimately I know that at the end of the day, God is in control, and that's where my faith lies, and there is nothing, worrying will accomplish nothing. And for the sake of my health, I need to stay nice and calm. I need to make sure that I'm not adding stress to myself. And so that is why what I choose to do with this is to focus on creating something positive, like launching the membership for us, that kind of thing. So that's where all of those positive thoughts like take me. They start down a little squirrel nest, a little warren of squirrel holes in my head of saying like, but look at all these good things you're going to do because of this situation. And it stops me from worrying about all the negativity going on that could go on in my head. So that is an example, you know, and I know many of you guys have been doing gratitude, writing down in your journals, and I think you have probably been living the fruit of that, which is wonderful. Oh, Susan, she says she left her mailman some hand sanitizer with a card of encouragement. I love that. I'm going to do that. I bought a gallon of hand sanitizer. I found one place on the internet that gets these gallon jugs. So I think that is a great idea. And thank you for sharing that, my friends. So you guys are so thoughtful. So many of you guys have done such sweet things. So I'm going to make a note to myself. I need to find some little containers, which I know I have little containers. So hand sanitizer. That's what I was thinking the other day, like all of the packages I have delivered here, what could I do for my UPS drivers? All the delivery contractors they use to make sure you're getting your things in a card. That would be awesome. He totally deserves that. Some men are just not, some that I've encountered are kind of on the grumpier side. The mail lady we had when we lived in Washington and we had our business in our house, and I posted pictures of her because we loved her so much. She literally would back up her mail truck into our driveway, and it would take her like 20 minutes sometimes to load up all of the Lister's Gotta List kits, all of our orders, bags and bags and bags. It would fill up the whole back of her truck. Sometimes they had to make arrangements to send a truck over to our house just to get it. And she was awesome. We loved her. Loved her. She was so sweet. She was so accommodating. She always like went out of our way to make it easier to do our job of getting your orders out to you. It was great. So hand sanitizer and a card for Mr. Mailman, because I love that he's so nice to my mom. And it makes her feel good to have someone praise her on her yard that she spent so much time working on. Oh, Carrie, you are an essential worker. She says she's a cashier at Kroger. Girl, I saw this really cool video right before the live, and I'm going to link it in the newsletter that I'm going to be sending out to you guys next. It'll be bulletin number 3. And it is all about the essential workers of America and thanking them, because I guess the YouTuber in question was offended that we were calling these essential workers like now they're an essential worker, whereas they weren't really before this whole thing has made them essential. And then she starts, talking about who these essential people are. And they've always been essential. They've always been part of our daily life. We just didn't appreciate it. And it's such a good message. So I'm going to link that so you guys can read it. Good night, Lindsell. Thank you so much for joining us from South Africa. Good night, good night, good night. So thank you for serving your community that way and showing up to work, because that can't be easy or fun. I'm sure there's part of you that you know, is concerned because you're dealing with the public. So appreciate that you keep going in there and making sure people get the food for their table. That's being a soldier for real. Hi, Mary. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so we're all good. Yes, Miss Melanie, there is a membership coming up. I am calling it, okay, so our membership is going to be called the Reset Life. Okay, that's what it has been called for a really long time behind the scenes. I just always say the membership. Basically, the Reset Life is going to be a separate website. It'll have forums, which you guys have experienced when you were part of summer camp. It was the Fireside Friends. So there will be forums to be participating in, and there'll be fun challenges to do every month. You will be able to have little small groups is what we encourage, like 6 to 8 people, so that you have accountability sisters. So if you have goals that you're setting for yourself that are health related, faith related, or just goals in general, this is like your little family of accountability. So in addition to that piece of it, then we will have special lives to help encourage you, like I like to do. We will have group activities. Mr. Crafty has found some really great fun platforms that we can use to help create accountability and have like fun little challenges where each little accountability group is a team, and you guys can you know, work together to achieve goals together and interact together. And then I will be sharing many different things that I am personally doing to help me be accountable, and help you, gathering up resources for you so that you can really be living your best life. That many things that you've always desired to reset, the Reset Life is going to hopefully give you that opportunity. So what we're doing is offering a pass every season. The group will have kind of like a theme. The challenges, the content will be tweaked based on that period of time, you know, each year. So the summer pass will be a 3-month membership. So it'll be like going to camp. It will have a campy kind of theme to it. And then you'll have this elongated, so it'll be a much longer period of time. It will not all be crammed in there. There will be far less emphasis on workshops. It's more about your daily life and having things that you really want to accomplish, and you can show up and kind of check in, and within your little accountability groups, you can have your own content, your own calendar, your own little, you know, private conversations you guys have. You can choose to do like a Zoom or a Google Hangout and have your own little world. So you're like a world within a world. But we are putting all of this together because, as I've mentioned, my own health issues that I now am currently dealing with have kind of made that more of a priority for me. And so I know a lot of you also have health as a priority. So that's kind of where that has been pushing me along. And for me, my faith is very much tied to that. It's hard to separate that. So I really want faith to be a component of the membership as far as it being an option for people if they want accountability in their own faith life. So that will be part of it. So that's what we're working on. We're going to, we pushed back the launch of it by a little bit so that we could just make sure we have everything perfect. And there'll be that to look forward to for the summer. So when we talk about like going to camp, that is what we're doing. Is we'll be doing a summer pass, which will afford you access to all the things that we'll have at the Reset Place, which will be our fun summer location that this is where we're jetting off to. So that's what we got going on. Oh, lots of conversations going on in the chat room. Chris Mann did an amazing thank you song. I must see. I will have to look that one up. Deborah says her daughter is a nurse in the ICU where the entire ward is dedicated to positive COVID patients. Please keep her in prayer. Absolutely will. Megan says, I live in a small rural town, so many widows and widowers are favorites of the cashiers here. Sometimes the cashier is the only company they have, and it's so sweet to see them interact. That just touches my heart. That is why we're having the comfort card creator group as well in our community. So if you want to make cards for the widows that the ministry we support, Miss Craig's ministry, she will be giving those cards to her widows as she delivers their groceries and their basic needs. Your card will be going with those deliveries. Sorry, I thought Mr. Crafty was coming down. Karen says, glue stick down, yay! Awesome. Michelle says, prayer, so this is to Deborah, prayers for your daughter and all who are working in the hospitals to not only take care of the COVID patients, but all the others who need them. Bless them all. Amen. Tara says, yay, just got done with a page in my Harmony book and posted on the link in FB. That's awesome. Yay. So, Tamara is working on masks. Annabelle says, wow, yes, prayers. She is on the front line. So many prayers for her. Megan says that she'll be making cards this weekend. Miss Ray is asking, what size is your Delfonics pouch? This one is the medium one. And this one is, I got this on Amazon, and I believe it's the medium. So there's a small one, which I have right here. So the small looks like this, and the medium one is like this. And then I believe there's a larger one, although I have not seen it, the large one in real life, nor, hi Paula, nor do I know exactly how large it is. The medium's pretty large in my mind. Like this would be the biggest I could fit in my own handbag, and I have a fairly good sized tote, and I feel like this is as big as I could get in there. So, and then this little guy is the small one. These are not cheap. I mean, they're on the more. Oh, here's all my gift cards. I was wondering where they all went. I got stuff in here I have totally forgot about. Here's probably my credit card that I lost, Mr. Crafty, that I had to replace. See, it's good to know. They're not cheap for a pouch, but they are incredibly well made. So I can understand. I feel like you could buy one pouch and you'd have it for a lifetime because it's really well made, very durable. I really love them. But they're not something that I also like to give other options to you guys too if there's different budget constraints in our community. So Susan says her daughter has requested more masks for her office. If everybody is doing, if those of you who are doing masks, if you need somewhere to send them. Tara said she made 14 cards for widows, just need to mail them out. Thank you so much, Tara, for doing that. Teresa says she's working on a mini album of photos of my parents. That's awesome. Michelle's making cards right now. Megan says, what is the adorable pink pouch? This is a pouch from Milloo, Milloo. This is a shop on Etsy. They make these fabulous leather pouches that I have two of these. One of them is green. Another very, very well-made pouch lined in fabric. It's kind of one of those pouches with a real fat base on it, and then it kind of like opens up. Kind of reminds me of like a doctor's bag, how it kind of like opens up like a kind of like a satchel. Not nearly as good as that, but it reminds me of that. So it's my everything pouch. I have all my little essentials in it. Thank you, Miss Ray. Michelle says, I missed who is in need of homemade cards. That would be, if you look in either of our groups, the Crafty Club or the First Love Club, there is a graphic. Mr. Crafty, let's look at that together. Actually, I don't have the First Love. One moment. Let me pull up the Facebook group. So both Facebook groups have the same graphic in there, and it'll tell you what we're doing it for. Here it is right here. Become a comfort card creator or join the Mask Maker Brigade. So there are 2 ways that I was just giving suggestions of how people could participate. If you sign up for our newsletter, I put 3 printables, including scriptures that you could put in your cards to make for Miss Craig's widows. So she's got a large number of widows within her ministry that she takes care of, checks in on. They'll arrange for someone to come over and fix something in their house that's broken. You know, all the things that your husband would have taken care of, and now you're on your own. So they have, she has been taking over like just essentials to them if they need it, because a lot of them are on fixed budgets. So that's who we are kind of trying to brighten their day and remind them that God sees them, loves them, cares about them, and so that is the opportunity, and you can read all about it there. Mary's working on her spring playbook. Yes. I am enjoying dinner outside of my porch while I'm watching. That is awesome. Larry is having some trouble with her sewing machine. She has all the material cut for 25 max, and she already made a huge batch of cards. You are awesome. Thank you so much. Sewing machines are so persnickety, are they not? Have you tried looking up your particular sewing machine on YouTube and seeing if anybody has posted videos about it? You would be surprised to see how detailed and specific videos can be on YouTube. One time I had a Beetle, one of the newer Beetles, and my the door handle, like the armrest door part of the handle, it actually came undone from the door. And the way it was designed is it wasn't like a separate piece. It actually was all part of the panel, and I had no idea how to fix it. I thought there's no way that someone will have a video showing this, but I'll just check. And lo and behold, there was one video of a guy showing exactly how to fix the problem I had, and I was just blown away. So I'm a believer. YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine on the internet, and it is packed with problem-solving videos. We just don't ever see them. We don't watch them for entertainment. You only look for them when you have a problem. So, Miss Larry, I would suggest that you type in the make and model of your sewing machine, and then see if there's any tutorial, like not a tutorial for sewing, but like repairing it, fixing it, troubleshooting. You might use the word troubleshooting. Try different variations of that and see what videos come up. Whatever's happening might be a common problem with your sewing machine, and other people, like someone out there, will just be super benevolent and be like, hey, I have this problem. I'm going to film myself fixing it or explaining what's wrong, and see if that helps. If that doesn't work, then I'd go to Google and Google it and see if there's some kind of troubleshooting steps you can take. Depending on the manufacturer, some of them are aware that they have issues and problems with things, so that might be one way to see if you can fix it. And if that doesn't work, what I would suggest then is this is up to you. You can decide to do this or not. But all that fabric that you cut, you might want to ask in either of the groups, would anybody like to take this fabric and make masks with it? It's all pre-cut. This is what, these are the measurements, and then send it to somebody in the community who's willing to sew them. So it's not like that part of your job wasn't for nothing. So that is my suggestion on that. Mandy's working on her gratitude journal. Miss Ray is working in her planner. Carrie says 182 people are watching, but there's only 85 likes. Hello. Okay, she didn't say the hello part. But if you guys wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up on my video, that would be sweet, because that helps me in the algorithm, and it doesn't cost you nothing. Sorry, I need to check here on Byron. Rats. Okay. Oh. He did. He did text. He did say something. Okay. So, there we go. We're all done. Thanks for shopping with Instacart. I approved all of his suggestions, and Byron and I are now, our business is concluded. So I said, thank you, sir. And okay, there we go. So Terry says that she's in Washington State. That's where my daughter is. And the governor has extended your stay in place until May 4th. First of all, I'm so glad that he finally decided to do that. It's hard. I think it's hard for us as Americans watching all of this happen. It's hard for us to understand, I think, why some governors drag their feet about putting the stay in place order, and some of them are like, just very aggressive about it. So Gavin Newsom here in California was aggressive. He was the first one to do it. He's just like, and now he's starting to say, hello, other governors out there. What are you waiting for? Why are you not doing this? So I'm really glad to see that that's beginning to affect some decisions. I can agree that some states might feel as if, well, we're not really impacted the same way you are. I think we're okay. We'll just kind of wait and see. So it's kind of, you can kind of read the writing that people are waiting and seeing, because obviously this comes at a great financial cost to do that. I'm glad to hear that Washington did that. And then, oh, there goes a cop. For being such a small town, there's a lot of cops in this area, a lot. Surprisingly a lot. And one thing that's interesting about this neighborhood is the cops will strategically park their car on certain streets and just leave it parked there for a little while. And then they'll move it to another area and leave it parked there for a little while. Very interesting. I'm sure there's some kind of like plan they have behind it. So, but I'm glad to hear, and that now it's kind of even been extended. So I have not read or seen anything that says specifically to California like how much longer this will be going on. So it could definitely be that long. Vanessa says the coronavirus task force just reported that our shelter in place is helping the curve. Mr. Crafty and I each of us found 2 different websites that are amazing. So his website that somebody in his family shared with them, you can see on the, it's very nerdy, but it has COVID cases by U.S. states and territories. So you can highlight just whatever state you're in, and so it'll show you how that state's doing. And obviously most of the states are all an upward climb of cases that are being reported. So what you want to see, and it'll show you down here, it'll say days since. So this is the progression of time down here. And what you want to see is what they're talking about flattening the curve, is you want to see your curve for your state start coming down, because that means the curve is flattening, the cases are coming down, the social distancing, the being forced to stay home is working. And when that comes down, that begins to turn the tide, and it means that there's a chance that that things won't get as bad as they are thinking that it will. Because without everyone following these guidelines, they predict there could be anywhere from 100,000 Americans to 240,000, somewhere in there. And some experts say this is a best case scenario. So this is so hard to fathom. So I'm going to put this into the newsletter. I have been trying to keep it super happy and positive, but I find this to be a very good resource, and something that could be very helpful for you personally. And there's another map here that gives you a whole snapshot of the globe. So here is all of the total confirmed cases of people who are positive. You can see the map with all of the cases reported around the globe. You can visually see it. You have a death around the world, which is awful. to look at that. And then you have this number here, which says these are the total recovered people. So these are people who've actually recovered from COVID. So I'm going to link these in the newsletter going out to you so that you have access to them if you wish to look at it closer, that you feel like you have some facts and that you have a good understanding of what's actually happening. Because press conferences are spending time obviously answering the press, if that's what it's for, is to answer the press's questions and to inform us. And they keep very high level in sharing information, and they're very strategic in what they share and don't share. So here's the bottom line information is what numerically is happening around the globe. So Michelle, I did not move. Well, that's an interesting question. Did I move? I come stay at my mom's house on her property with we're in the RV. I come stay here every year. I spend part of the year here with her, so we might stay the rest of the year here. We might not go back to Washington. So we're actually in California. We're in Northern California. Yes, Serenity says Canada has been very lackadaisical about it, and looking at those numbers, I hope will knock some sense into them. It is very, I don't know, this is very surprising. And like I said, it's easy. I think it's easy for all of us to make a lot of, I don't know. I try to, okay, so I have a very strong justice meter, so generally I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with you guys? Why aren't you making these decisions differently? But then the logical side of me, which I do have a logical side, contrary to what some people think, then I do question myself and go, well, you don't have all the information, and you don't know everything like that goes behind the scenes, and you really don't understand the full picture of what that means to really shut down and keep everyone. And to me, life is what should be preserved above all. Human life matters more than anything. That's just like how black and white I think we can be as people. So it's just very easy to go, so therefore everyone should just do it the way we think it should be done. So this has been very interesting to watch America go. I don't know, like watching our leadership has been interesting to see how people really perform when the call of duty is actually at hand. Yeah, bye, Tanya. Thank you for joining us. And I think we can agree too, it's also hard to watch things transpiring, because I think there's just some things that happen that you wish that all the political bias, the political part of like what happens could just be like moved aside. Could we just not involve and talk about any of this on a political level? Can this just be about doing what's right for the sake of our country, for the sake of all of these people? That's what we, I think we can agree on. That would be great. That's right, Linnell. She says, I'm not living in fear. We have the Lord, and he's never failed us yet. He is in control, and this is a big wake-up call to put the Lord first and look for his return. And I do agree with that. I saw a video the other day that really, like, I felt like it kind of snapped me out of it, kind of snapped me awake. And I realized, I did realize that for all we know, this is what that looks like. This is what God's revival looks like, and how many instances of this were in the Bible. And if we're to believe what the Bible says, and those were true events, why wouldn't we be going through one ourselves? I mean, how long can God be patient with our nonsense? So it is, I don't know, it's just interesting. There's many different ways to look at it, obviously. All of us are hoping to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense. And that's the bottom line. So I feel like when it comes to with faith and you putting faith into the Lord, I feel like that takes part of that, the demand for answers. I feel like sometimes there isn't answers, and that's okay. Agreed, Suzanne. I absolutely agree. Sometimes it's like, let's just leave the political side out of this. But you guys have all your little arguments and all your little fussing with each other. Do that later. Do that on your own time. Okay. It's quite surreal indeed. It's very, actually, Mark, I put that in the last newsletter. Oh, but go ahead. I shared a link to a, in the number 2 bulletin. I did share a link to Dr. Evans' message that he shares about. It's an interesting story he tells about his wife when they first met and were dating, and this ride that they went on. And he is using that as a kind of a allegory about what's happening and about trusting God. And so I did share it, but Mark's going to share it again in case you didn't read this amazing newsletter I sent. Okay, so sorry, I'm getting caught up in the reading of the comments. Okay, so I brought up the whole thing about gratitude earlier because, yay, my Instacart order will be arriving shortly. Awesome. Okay. So if you have not started a gratitude practice, April would be a great time to jump in. It's not a formal thing. I'm just inviting you to consider doing that for your own peace of mind, your own well-being. And one place I shared with you, a good place to do it is if in your Harmony Handbook, if you were looking for ideas of things to add to it, and you're just feeling like I'm running out of ideas of things to put in my handbook, this might be a good thing to do in your handbook. You might decide to start recording 3 things every day that you're grateful for. And that this would be a great time to do that. The mind is a good place. The section of your handbook for the mind would be a great place to do that, I think. Peace of mind, being gratitude, giving you a peaceful, state of mind, I think that makes sense, doesn't it? I'm realizing how hot I am. 1 second. All of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's so hot in here. And okay, I'm going to do a quick little lip refresh. So I think what I want to do with my gratitude is I talked about this the other day. I was thinking that it could be a good time to do a little mini album for my pages and putting gratitude in there. Let me grab the book, 'cause I think I put it away. So I have one of these, this is the Project Life Heidi Swap. It's the little mini album, the 4x4 one. And I really love these mini albums, although I have to be honest so that I don't actually do much in them. So I was thinking this might be a good place to do a month of gratitude in here. And obviously, if I was going to put this much work into doing it, I'm guessing, knowing me, I would probably do a little bit more than just name 3 things I'm grateful for. It might also include a little bit of journaling or a documenting of what today was like. And it's April 3rd, so I actually still have a memory for the last couple of days. It's not too late. I had bought these extra packets of pockets. So I believe I have enough here. There's probably 20 here. Did it come with 20 sheets? I think it probably did. Yeah, so there's 10. So if it comes with 10 pockets, that means I have 20 pockets, which means you have a pocket facing you and a pocket behind you, which means I have 40 here. So that's all I need for this. So with that in mind, I might... Okay, so that means I have to remove 5, because I don't need that many, because 5 is like 10. So now I have 30. And now I want to mix in, these are some of the little 4x4 pages. So they've got the like little 2x2 pockets, which, let me test this. I have not actually tested, so how cute is that? Okay. So I'm going to mix some of these in here, which there's 30 sheets in here total. So I'm going to mix 4 of these in here. These in here. Hopefully. So I'm finally putting to work some of these pockets I've bought. I have so many of them. Okay. And then I had cut these up. These are the little pockets, the little background cards I made for the Pocket Fever workshop. So a lot of these are pre-cut. So I have like a lot of, these are probably all 3 inchers. I need this size right here. So these are like my 4-inch backgrounds. So let me see here. Let me see, this is a 4. Let me see what that looks like when you slip it in here. Okay, so there's a back and front. We need to do research within. I really don't love this particular pattern, so chances are I'm going to find something to back that one with. It's not one I love. I do have little bitty ones here pre-cut to put in to these little bitty squares, because I think it'd be fun to kind of mix it up so they're not all big 4x4. How do you get into this one? Aha, it's a side load. Do is search within. Okay. Let me see what ends up on the back. Maybe I'll like it on the B side. So I like that a lot. The colors all look great together. I think that looks fine on the back side. Can I help you, sir?
They're asking about these, and I can't find them on our Amazon shopping.
It is possible that,
Don't say it.
well, it's because I bought a lot of them during Camp Wannacraft. I said it. I said it.
I thought you were going to say not from Amazon.
Well, that is possible, sir. That is so possible. Okay, so I'm going to build another one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these little tiny squares. I might like make a small note. This one I'm probably going to back it. I don't really love the back side. Once in a while there's a scrapbook paper out there that I really like the back side as much as the front side, but it doesn't happen often. And I love the randomness of different paper. I love that it's not matchy in any way. I think when you do that, you can end up with something so beautiful and unexpected. So, looking through my little pile here, all these little papers I cut up earlier. This needs a pop of color, so I'm looking at my more brighter colors to kind of save the day like that. See how like magical that looks? Maybe even something like graphic, like black and white. This is multicolored. Even that would look good. And then there's this one. I think I'm going to go with one of the, how do you get these in here? See how much faster this goes when you have all your paper pre-cut and ready to go? This is why it's like, to me, batch tasking your crafting is like such a great idea, which means like you sit down and you cut up all your paper or punch all your paper, and then when you actually sit down to do all the fun embellishing, you're all ready to go. Like you have everything in place. You have all of your foundational work done. And then back to a big piece. I have like a mixture. I showed in my Pocket Fever class how I, you know, cut all these up and what I drew from and picked from. I think another great idea too for this kind of project is picking photos from from magazines. So that means I'm going to dig into what I have here in my pile of magazines. Ouch. That was painful. Okay, so I'm not sure if I have the right kinds of magazines. I actually started a subscription to some magazines recently. If you go on Amazon, they have some really awesome magazine deals right now, like for $5 for a year. You just need to decide if you want to keep it past a year because you'll get automatically charged the full price the following year, but you're allowed to cancel at any time. So I signed up for probably like 4 or 5 of them. This is not the right season. I want to find something that feels more, these are all like fall and winter. But there's really good magazines that would be great for this kind of project where you want to have lots of photos to use. I am drawing a blank. Oh, I know where they are. One second. Can I show you guys something that I got right before I started my own personal self-quarantine? I found this at, where was I? Walgreens. It is Entertainment Weekly, has a collector's edition magazine. It's the ultimate guide to the office. I just thought this was awesome. I had to have it. It wasn't even like, I think I spent 2 seconds telling myself, do you really need that? And then the answer was yes. Yes, I do. So I, oh man. I forgot to send that to my daughter for her birthday. Rats. Food Rolls by Dr. Oz. I have a bunch of new magazines I love these type of magazines because they've got like lots of really pretty pictures, mostly of food, but like healthy stuff. And I was trying to get some good inspirational photos for the membership, my projects that I will be doing in the Reset Life. So I'm going to use one of my handy dandy, here we go, my little 4x4 cropping tool. I also showed that in the Pocket Fever workshop. I showed how to make your own DIY crop tools because the square ones do not appear to be available anywhere. I think I'm fairly confident that all of their crop tools were discontinued. I'm just looking through here. I wanted to put like one of the squares, I wanted it to be like a photo. Like see, something like this, where it's got flowers or something, would be an interesting photo. So I'm gonna crop it. And then on the back side of it, I'm going to put, this is a page from a hymnal. So I'm going to throw this one in here. And Miss Megan, the video that I focused on making the little photo crops, like the smaller ones, was in the so the ones that I did that were really small for your Harmony was for your Harmony handbook. So that was in the Harmony handbook video. And then the Pocket Fever has DIY, like the regular, these larger size crops, just to answer your question. Keep on going, because my last page I'm going to be putting in these guys right here. And then once I have like the front, I like it the way it is, and I'll flip it over and see, do I like the way this one is? And now I'm gonna fix it by adding more. Hi, hello.
Oh, beautiful.
What is going on?
I think that you're. Never mind.
What?
I thought your chat wasn't up to date. One person was saying they only saw one episode of The Office, and that's all they ever did. So I wanted to make sure they knew. Skip season 1.
Yeah,
season 2.
This is what we would suggest to anybody who's not seen The Office. Is I would skip season 1 entirely, and just start with season 2. And I won't even tell you that season 2 episode 1 is even a good one. I feel like that one's pretty cringy. If you can skip that season 2 episode 2 and start there, I think that you would see why everyone loves The Office. Season 1 was just, it's very different than the way the rest of The Office, it was obviously a new show. They were trying out different things. Michael's character is very different in season 1 than he ends up being later. It is one of those shows that has very, like, I don't know, sometimes cringy moments. It's not a show for everyone. Some people, I mean, it's a phenomenon for some people. Big part of America really loved it. And then for some people, they're like, not for me. Yeah, the first episode of The Office, I think, is not a good one. I don't think it's not funny. I've been more I have gone back and been more objective about it, and I realize, that really is not a good episode to tell anybody to watch when they've never seen it before. It's just, it's not their best writing. It's not their best work. It's not a good season. I have found that you can skip the whole first season and really enjoy it after that. If those of you who love The Office, did you like season 1? Am I wrong here? Okay, so let us see here. We're down to, I'm going to fix this one. Look how fast this went because I had everything pre-cut. I love that. Okay, so now I have all my little squares all set up, and all I have to do is add the text part, which is the embellishing, or the part where I am grateful for something. And so that's kind of like the fun of asking myself, well, what do you want to add that with? Do you want to type it up and make little strips that you glue down? So as an example, I have a little stack of these little fun. Oh, speaking of, Mr. Crafty and I are working on a fun little release, like a little mini release. If you went to Camp Wannacraft and you were one of the lucky girls who got the little fun cards that we made, there's these cute little 2x2 cards. These were only in the physical, you could only buy these as a physical product. Well, we are making these into a little digital collection. So you'll be able to slip them into these fun little 2x2 pockets. How fun is that? So these are going to get released digitally, and then we're going to go back and we're going to take Girl Friday and make little 2x2s out of those. So we're going to have a Camp Wannacraft, and a Girl Friday mashup and have all these little fun cards. And the best part is they're going to be released as, you're going to get cut files, so they'll be die cuts, so that your machine can actually cut them for you out of cardstock if you want. And then if you don't have a machine, you can still cut them with your scissors. How fun is that, you guys? That just popped into my head the other day. I was like, it would be so fun, because a lot of in Pocket Fever, a lot of the little sheets that you get are the little grid style sheets. That's one of the options. And sometimes all these little 2x2s, it's like, well, what am I going to put in there? So we are coming up with some fun little 2x2 die cuts, and we're going to make the cut files special, so they'll cut all the way through, and you can just print them out and make your own little deck of cards. How fun is that? And I feel like Girl Friday and Wannacraft are a really good little mashup. And I'm just thinking, I want to start doing little mashup collections where we take little bits of this one, and then we turn it into something that's different or new or resized that you can use in a different way. Because now we have to be very, we have to come up with other ways to make product and be resourceful with all of the, with all of the resources we have. We have to come up with other ways of doing things. So I was hoping that you guys would be stoked for that, because a lot of you were not able to, you know, buy the kit. There was a very limited amount of them. This is one of my favorite, what do you call it? Spit it out. One of my favorite journal cards. Yes, thank you, sir. I'm going to cut it with one of these and turn it into a little 2x2. All of the cut files we've made so far have all been sticker related, and it finally hit me the other night. I'm like, you know what? We have never made the cut files for die cuts. They're always made for stickers. What if we made some of them for die cuts, and then everybody who had, you know, they had machines could have die cuts. And of course, the way that the files are set up, if you don't have a machine, you can still use them because you can just cut them by hand. So it would be like a win-win-win. I absolutely love the wood grain. Just wiggling this one in. This is my last sheet. And then this one. And this one needs a little something something. Needs another little color to it. That's probably good. Okay, so that's how this one will look. Actually, I kind of like the way, you know what, I like, this is funny. I like this better because it's a little bit more happier and bright, and I feel like the colors on this side feel a little bit more fall. So I'm going to flip them all around. Miss Melanie is asking about the Harmony Retreat. So what we're doing is we're going to release the Harmony Handbook videos as a workshop alone. So the retreat itself is like from winter. So the Harmony Handbook, which we all worked on in the retreat, those videos are going to be released solo. So you can purchase them and work on those if you would like to make a Harmony Handbook, which a lot of the ladies loved making and are now continuing to work on because it's super helpful, especially right now, to have something like that. So that's something we're going to get ready to release on our website, and then you guys who didn't go to the retreat can just take the classes and learn how to make the book, which is how I want all of the things set up so that you're not, if you don't go to camp or you don't go to the retreat, doesn't mean you can't actually make the craft that we're working on. Okay, so there's, okay, finally. Okay, got it all together. I say finally, and it wasn't even that hard because I had everything pre-cut. I hope I just demonstrated to you guys why pre-cutting your materials is such a great idea. It just, all it means is you just pop everything into the little pockets and you're ready to go. How cool. This card right here would actually make the best card for the best, what do you call that, title card, because you can put the text right here. So how am I doing? What am I doing? This one's going to go first, and then this. I'm trying to separate this card from this card. So like that. Because I have this lemon yellow, this little lemon here and here, so I want to make sure they're separated and not back to back. That apparently was harder than I thought it would be. Okay. So there we go. And let me get my big old stack of magazines out of my way here. These magazines that are kind of on the spendy side, I absolutely love them. Like they're like special edition magazines. Here's an example. I've had this since spring 2007. So I've had this magazine for 13 years. So I know that when it comes to some of the more expensive magazines, I will hold on to it and find use out of it. So I know it's not just something I will throw away. If you do not have a little album, these were more, I think they were more prevalent and available probably within more of a few more years ago. I've noticed that the bigger scrapbook brands are not really producing them. So I'm thinking they have moved on to other things. And so a lot of these I found by going to eBay, by just Googling like a 4x4 photo album. And I bought most of these when we were doing Camp Wannacraft last summer, because I was really I had pocket fever bad. So I was thinking I'm going to like make a bunch of things with these little photo albums. However, you don't need to have a photo album if you can get your hands on pockets. You can just put binder rings on them and just kind of have like a little loose. You can make your own cover out of like cards, like a chipboard, and make your own sort of like little junk journal. If you took Camp Wannacraft, Caroline did a video where she showed how to make DIY little photo sleeves. So there was different ideas of how to make different types of sleeves. They also still have, I just purchased some, they have the little clear pockets that are called, I'm trying to remember what the name of them is. Simple Stories make some. Basically, they're a pocket and they had a little strip of adhesive on them, and they were, if somebody can help me out here, remind me what those are called. They're meant to attach to a photo, like a pocket page, so you can flip it up. They're like a little flip page that you adhese. So I bought a pack of those to see, well, if I just have those covering the little picture, that's all I need, and I don't care about punching the page through. I feel like I can't even spit out what I'm trying to say. So I have my pre-cut squares in this cute little box. I bought one of those little the pocket-sized traveler notebooks from Webster's Pages, and they give it to you in this cute little bitty box. So here's the lid for it, and then here's the box, and then I have them all set up. I showed exactly how I did this in the Pocket Fever workshop. I showed my method of pre-cutting them, getting them all set up, how I pick the paper, all that good stuff, and then I have them all set up, and then anything that was like scraps, like leftover, I tossed it into the lid so that I could use this as embellishments and other things like in my playbook. And then I just have the little box on top of it, and I have it over here. So I just have them sitting up here on my desktop. I can easily grab. And that was my desire, was to make sure that I could just easily grab and go. Mr. Crafty, thank you, Hannah. I think they are flip pockets. That sounds possible. Okay, thank you. I was going to ask you if you could post the rose gold rings. The link that Mr. Crafty just posted. Okay, let me show you the link that he just posted for the rose gold rings. They look like this. So they have big ones. They have a little one, and then they kind of have a medium-sized one. So it's like a papa, mama, and baby. So if you don't have an album, you can still make a little bitty album. You just can use this. And technically, if you think about it, you don't even really need to have the clear pockets. It's a nice to have, but it's not a have to have. If you want, you could just glue the scrapbook paper back to back to kind of make them a little bit more sturdy, and then punch them, and then just put a little binder, you know, like a little binder ring through them, and then you just kind of have like a little casual, super simple little flip book for your gratitude. And I'm only doing this for April. I have a different plan for May, which I will reveal to you guys later. I just had an epiphany of how to do a gratitude challenge, but like take it up a notch, kind of like do it differently. I'm really excited for that. So I'm gonna do my gratitude in April, either in this little album, or I'll take just the pages and put rings on them. I haven't decided, but I feel like I have the album, so I may as well use it. So I'm gonna make myself a little title, which I need my little Dymo labeler. This is like my little go-to. This one is from, I bought it in Japan, and it says label Kudakan on it, which I assume is some version of cutter, like a label cutter, or I don't know. I'm not even sure. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I'll be honest. But the American version I have of this, which is blue, light blue and blue, I have that somewhere in one of my boxes. It says Label Buddy. So, so in the American version, this is a Label Buddy. They're not as easy to find as I would think they were. I don't remember how I got mine, but I absolutely love this. And so when I saw it in a different, just being a different color, I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and grab another one, because I know it's something I'll love. I'll love it forever. But they are the old school label makers. I got one of these when I was like in the 4th grade. I wanted one with all my heart. Okay, so I'm gonna, and it totally typed imperfectly, because I didn't have the C like perfectly in place, so the C dropped down. But I love it. I love that it's imperfect like that so much. You have to really feel it go into place too. B. Good night, Hannah. Mr. Crafty, did you learn a new little thing to get my attention?
No, it's me trying to put on a new song.
Oh, okay. I thought, because you have a little message up there on the window, I thought you'd figured out a way to be like, I can get her attention now.
Nope, I need one though.
Okay, so I'm gonna Michelle has a good idea. She's saying you can use up all your Amazon boxes and cut them to size to make the front and back covers. I'm sure a lot of us are using Amazon more than normal. So yeah, there's a lot of cardboard coming in. So that's a great idea, to use it as a little album cover. I love when you do these, how like doing them a little bit wonky. Just moving the little message up. Oh, this one has a heart. And yes, Justine, she says, don't forget to quarantine the boxes first. We have a fairly large size area in our garage that we're using for quarantining mail and packages that come into the house, and then groceries. So they all go through, depending on what the item is. It either sits in there for 3 days or it goes in there for at least 24 hours. But I would say that for the most part, we're kind of like at a 72 hours kind of situation. Okay, so here's my little cover for my gratitude book, and then is the actual like writing of the gratitude on there. So this is the part where it's like, so what little items am I going to use to create like my actual text on? So I have like different little cards that I could cut and kind of attach here. This is cool because if I wanted to, I could just fill this all in here. There's a date on this card. I could cut this off. This is kind of fun. I don't know what these cards were for, but I could date it over here, put what I'm grateful for, and then attach it or center it on this one card. That's one option. I have some sticky notes. Cannot remember the name of it came from a girl who does stamps. These fun little sticky notes. I don't have her stamp that I bought from her around. It's Ink by Jen. I think this is from Ink by Jen. So these are actually kind of cool because it's a review of your day. So you could say what was good, what was okay, what was bad. That would be a cute little thing to use. If you wanted to do this type of project with me, you could pull out some 3x3 sticky notes. You could use just like smaller little bits of notebook paper. I'm gonna have to look through my stash here to see the different things I have. I call them journaling spots. What I mean by that is they're like actual papers that were designed to like actually write on. So whether here's some like handwriting paper, here's some of the old dot matrix paper, here's some ledger. This is stuff I would use to actually journal on. All kinds of some like old typewriter paper, the old what was this kind of paper? I forget the name of it. We had this when we were in school. So I bought this mixed little pack of paper. I've had these for a while in my arsenal. I have like little guest checks. So this one's pretty. Anyway. Okay, thank you. Glue stick down, Anna! Glue stick down! Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna transfer what I have in my notebook. I'm gonna put on here, and I'm probably going to treat each of the big squares as a day. I haven't figured out what I want to do with this. I will probably embellish these and just put like stickers on them or something. I'm going to play around with this a little bit more to decide how I want to incorporate the journaling. This one, I don't want to cover up too much of what's on here. So the other thing I considered too is just typing up my answers and then obviously waiting until the sheet was fairly full and then cutting them out and pasting them, because I absolutely love the way that looks. It's very much like a word strip. So that is an option too, and that way I'm just typing up my answers each day, and then towards the end I can just glue them down. That's one idea. Do you guys have any ideas of how to add the journaling that you can think of? Some of my paper is conducive to writing on. Like this is just solid black cardstock. If I use a white pen, I could just write directly on there. This I could write on. So I can use the back and front of this one to write on. Some things I could write on, some of them I can't. And I'm totally okay that I can't. That's not the problem. I just want to, like, what other ways can I record my thoughts? This is going to be fun. And I used this opportunity to get it done because I would have probably procrastinated about doing this little album. So I finally have a little album, you guys. And also, I think I'm going to use one of my precious die cuts in here to embellish this. Doesn't that just make it more perfection? I think the mustard and that green belong together. Okay, so I think I'm going to add this. So what are we going to do? It's 4 o'clock now, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go, me and my mom are going to start packing stickers. So we're just going to have a lot of different other creative ideas about what we release in the meantime and see what happens. Hope for the best. I think that's super cute. Although one thing I do think I could add is where is my glitter paper? Oh, Shelly, that's a good idea. She says you could use your little cute labels from the collections. So, like as an example, these type of labels. That's a good idea. Yes, Anna, we're talking mystery boxes, kits that would have, so what we're going to be releasing will be the mystery boxes, the Reset Your Goals kits, and then actual stickers. And they'll be probably like mystery sticker flats. So you probably won't get an option in what the stickers inside the flats would be, because that will just be a lot of work for us to do all that and list them. So this is like supposed to be kind of a quick fun thing. So that's kind of the only caveat, is that it'll be a mystery. Okay, I just found this cute little square in here, so I think I'm going to add it in here to my little... There. I don't know, that's delicious. So we will be, me and my mom are going to go pack some stickers, I think. So what I brought this out for was to find this little piece right here. As you can see, I like to punch my little stars from it. And I feel like maybe I want to test this out and see what some stars would look like. Michelle, I'm going to do that sometime in April. Probably closer to, probably mid to like the latter part of April. Okay, I like that. Oops. Okay, that did not glue down very well. Or did it? Oh, you know what else would be fun? Is this like a paper? I'm gonna put a staple right through that and that. Oh my gosh. That just made it more magical. That is delicious. I'm trying to decide now that I've just done that, and I'm like, am I really going to be done? Yeah, I'll really be done. Yes, Melanie, there are gold scissors in the mystery boxes. I made sure there's a pair of gold scissors in every mystery box. I believe there's at least 2 different types of washi rings, like a large washi ring and a small washi ring. And there's a variety of items in there. There's like a notebook or a planner, something that I would consider kind of like a more valuable item of some kind. Like it could be any of the, like I said, like a photo album or a Kate Spade notebooks in there. Just a variety of different things like that. And then lots of scrapbook stuff, Reset Girl stuff. The boxes are pretty packed. Okay, now I feel like, thank you, Cozy. That is delicious. It is magical. I can't believe how good that looks. We do this a lot in our branding, you know, like digitally, but in real life, it's amazing. Okay, so that will be my little cover. And I kind of feel like when all this white, I feel like it needs to be covered. I don't know. I'll live with it for now though and see what happens. So I think what I'm gonna do is what I said is, for now I'm gonna type up my answers, and then I'll have a mixture of, like, when I can write it out, I'll put it on here, and then other times I'll type it up and glue it on here. So I'll be recording my gratitude in a Word document, and then at the end I will, or probably not at the end, knowing me, I won't be that patient. Maybe you know what I'll do? I'll find like I have cheapy paper, not like a less expensive paper in my arsenal, and I'll run that through my printer, and that way it won't bother me that I don't like wasting my 32-pound paper. Like if I only type up some of the answers and I only have half the paper used, that would bother me that I have that other half unused, and it would have been wasting it, because, you know, 32-pound paper was born to be admired. It's good paper. It's something that should be taken care of. So I'm gonna move all this stuff back here. See, that looks so good to me with the color. I'll have to figure out how to incorporate bigger pieces like that, or if they can, because I feel like then it kind of messes up. Yeah, this will be interesting to see how I do this. I'll probably have to play with it to like feel comfortable, and then I'll do it on a live or something, because I don't want to, I always get self-conscious when it's taking me too long to figure something out and you guys are all sitting there watching. So I think that what I'm going to do is use the girlfriend gathering to work on my gratitude book. Oh, speaking of which, we did update our calendar. If you are joining us for the first time and didn't know, we have this really fun calendar now, and you can see all of our live events. I'm going to post it right now. There it is. so you can see all of the live shows we have this month. So our next live show is April 8th. It's in 5 days. It's a Faithful Friends. So every Wednesday in April, we're doing a live Faithful Friends. And then our next girlfriend gathering is on April 17th. So we're going to skip a Friday and then be back the following Friday for gathering, for girlfriends gathering. So I would encourage you, if you want to spend your time with doing the gratitude, working on that, we can come back. I will put a post in the group. Oh, there is a post in the group. There's a post in the First Love Club. That's the challenge for the First Love Club. So, but let me see here. Join me for 30 days of gratitude all April long. So, Mr. Crafty, he's handling groceries, so he left me. So there's a post for it in the First Love Club, but I can definitely add that into the Crafty Club as well, just for you to share your days of gratitude. So you can post, your progress in there, and then you can, we can check in on the next girlfriend gathering, which will be the 17th, and see what we've accomplished in there so far. Or you can work on whatever you like. You can work on your spring playbook. You can, there's so many different things. Your handbook, like your Harmony handbook, your pocket pages. I think incorporating the gratitude with my pocket pages was to kind of help support the pocket fever ladies who really want to jump in and do some pockets. Well, here's an opportunity. You could, you don't have to do these little square ones like I am. You can use any kind of pocket pages to do this. And then, like I said, you don't even have to use pocket pages. You could just cut, you can do like a 6x4, if you want to do little 6x4 sheets of scrapbook paper and glue them back to back, and then use these to add your typing or journaling to them. And then you can have a little flip through book of your gratitude, or you can simply do it in a notebook or a traveler's notebook. Traveler, you guys, a lot of people have traveler notebook inserts. That's a great way to do that. I did get my Instacart groceries already. They oh, he says we're neighbors. Okay, so apparently Byron is actually a neighbor because he let me know that, which means he lives around here. So when he delivered him to my house, he's like, hey, I just live down the street. So you see, Instacart is helping people, definitely helping people with work, because right now with some people out of work, this becomes an essential job that they can grab right now that they didn't have before. I'm trying to find where I can increase the tip. Usually they let you do that after the shopping is over. You can mess around with it. I'll have to do that later. So I'm surprised for the area that I'm in how many stores are available to do Instacart. So if you want to try Instacart, I have had really good success with it. Right now it's like essential for us to shop this way. I don't want Mr. Crafty going into the stores and then possibly bringing that back to me and my mom. So this is kind of what I've got him to agree to. Because he doesn't like paying extra for things. He wants, he's very mindful with money. So I had to convince him that this is one of those situations where it's entirely worth it, because we just don't know when you go out there what you're coming in contact with and can bring back to us. So having someone else do it who doesn't come into our house, who stays out on our porch, leaves it, you can handle the groceries, take them to the garage, and then he handles everything with gloves, and then he basically disinfects himself before he comes back into the house. So we have like this whole little process of just getting groceries. So yay, Mallory's going to do some pre-cut background papers for her mini gratitude journal. It's very easy. You know, if you want to do the easy route, you can just write it in a simple notebook. You do not have to get all crazy. But what I encourage you to do is just do the gratitude practice if you've never done it. It will be very good for you, mentally. It will help you emotionally. You will be able to focus on the good stuff. And for the most part, I feel like our community is doing that. I feel like for the most part, we are being the glass is half full kind of girls. But I do know that there's a lot of people in our community that have issues with depression and anxiety, and this is definitely a situation that could exacerbate that. So gratitude is one of those things that the professionals recommend, is helping you for your mental health as well as journaling. So either of those practices would be an excellent thing to be doing, documenting what's going on, and not just like documenting facts and what's happening, but your own inner voice, your own, you know, what are your thoughts on things? How are you adjusting to things? What have you discovered in this situation? What new things have you started doing? New little routines? I mean, when your life is altered a lot and you have to discover new things to occupy yourself, what are those things? How did you use this season? So, yep, Cozy, that's a good reminder. So Instacart is pretty busy. They originally had a turnaround time of a couple hours. If you placed your order right then, it would just be a few hours and you'd have it. But nowadays, you could wait a day or two before you get one of the next available slots. So if this is something that you haven't tried or have it available, and I'm just putting it out there, it's a really great resource. And now I have to wait another 3 days before I can use those groceries. So in the meantime, that's why I have the other groceries that came in the other day, the last time we were all live together. So I'm on this cycle of ordering food because I have to wait a little bit to be able to use it. So, that's awesome. Shelly says there's been so many neighbors taking groceries to my aging parents in Florida. I think I'll create some thank you cards to send to them. That is wonderful. I think that's a great idea. And, an earlier, one of the suggestions was making a little thank you note for the mailman, which I am definitely going to do with some hand sanitizer, because God knows I have a lot of it. If you guys are interested in hand sanitizer, some people have the ingredients to make their own. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube about making hand sanitizer, although you have to be careful to make sure the alcohol you use is, I believe it's at least, it has to be higher than 60. I think that was the amount. I bought alcohol that's 70 and I have alcohol that's 90. So I have like two different versions. But I bought a big giant gallon of hand sanitizer that was actually available. And I can post a link in the group if you would like to check it out. It's a company in Ohio, and they are used to selling in bulk. So that's what they do. So let me grab I hear Mark washing himself, washing his hands. Okay, so what they have available right now is what I bought for my daughter, which she actually really likes. And they have a 15% off coupon. Okay, so I'm posting it right now. So you know how there's like the little spray hand sanitizer, so you can spray your hands and then kind of wipe them. There's a gel version and a spray version. So this type that they only have available right now is the hand spray. So if you have little spray bottles, this is a great time to put those to use and use them for this. If you are just really out of any kind of sanitizing product, they do have them in stock, and they will restock. So if they're out of it, by the time you order. I have noticed that they're really good about restocking. They just have a totally, you can imagine they have a very big volume that they're dealing with right now. And I just posted it right there to grab it. Hopefully, oh, is it out? Rats. Let me see. Well, shucks, it's out of stock, but not to worry, because I promise it will come back. I checked it to order my own gel, and then as soon as I got it, I went back to the website and they were all restocked again. And if you sign up to be notified, you'll get the little email, which is how I checked it in the first place to order it, because I missed the window the first time too. But they are, it came, it's awesome. It's a whole gallon, and so I'm going to share some with my mailman. I think that was a wonderful idea. Thank you for sharing that with me. Okay, so I'm glad that so many of you guys have been able to check out the Instacart, that it's been something working for you, or that you've and some of us live in areas where there's those kinds of resources, so I'm blessed. And I know that some of you who live outside in the more rural area don't have that situation. And I'm sorry for that. I hope that you have stuff stocked up for yourself. Okay, so friends, we want to reconvene for our girlfriend gathering on the 17th, and then our next live will be the Faithful Friends on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel, 2 p.m. PST. All of our lives this month so far they're all at 2 p.m. to help lock that in your memory. Just remember, we will not be doing the text reminders because we are needing to cut costs right now, so we won't be able to send out text reminders, but set an alarm for yourself in your calendar, in your phone, on your Alexa, so that you don't forget. And also on our YouTube channel, you can see when it goes not when it goes live, leading up to the live, there is a little place on there where you can actually set a reminder on YouTube. Let me see here. I will show you. If Mr. Crafty can show us. See where it says live now down here below? So before it said that, it said set reminder. See this right here on the screen? Live now. So before that, it said set reminder, and all you have to do is click on it, and it will send you a notification when I go live. So that's the other alternative, and I'm so sorry that we can't offer that any longer at this time. Okay, so anyway, you guys, I love your little faces. I'm going to see you guys hopefully on Wednesday. I hope you have a lovely weekend. We have talked before about doing pop-ups, and we talked about our little Bible study, just like reading the Bible together, and we tried to do that this morning, but shocker, my computer would not cooperate. So, but that just is how it is whenever I want to talk about the Lord. So, we are going to try to do that. So you might see a surprise pop-up come up on YouTube, Mark, or on Facebook?
Depends on where you want to do it. I was thinking YouTube.
Okay, so Mr. Crafty said it would be a surprise pop-up in YouTube. So if you see me go live, oh, surprise, that's probably what it is. We're shooting for like a 9 a.m. in the morning, 9 a.m., between 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. kind of time. So we might actually get that working eventually. And I did post in the First Love Club what reading challenge we're using right now, and we are in the book of James. So if you would like to join us, the book of James is bomb. It has got so much good stuff in there about Christian life and how we should be living, and reminders of how to do it better. And it's just, there's so much good stuff in that little bitty book. So that's where we're at. Come join us. by digging into your Bible, and hopefully we'll be able to get it going live. So in the meantime, I'll miss your faces, you guys. I hope, I hate saying goodbye, but I will see you guys very soon. We'll be back together before we know it. Please stay safe. Please take care of yourself. Please stay inside as much as possible. Wash our handsies so that we can continue to be healthy. And I'll continue lifting you guys up in prayer and thinking about you. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next live. Bye, everybody. Bye. Mwah. Bye, everyone.